Today we're going through what sold for me in January of this year, so stick around if you want to see everything that went out the door. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gordon-Goldstein and I'm a part-time reseller on the Poshmark app. Today, I'm gonna share with you my January sales from 2021. In this video, I'll go through each item that I sold in the month of January, and I'll actually show you how I packaged each item up to get ready to be shipped out. After that, we'll go into my fast, slow, high, low segment where I share with you what sold fast, slow, high, and low for me this month. And then after that, I'll just share a few more little pieces of information that I keep track of in my business. I've got my trusty little spreadsheet and everything here. Again, if I look down, I'm gonna be this tiny in the corner of your screen, so pretend like you don't see me doing it anyway. Also, if you're wondering what any of this is, all of this came in a THREDUP mystery box recently, so you will soon be seeing that on my channel. And I'm doing kind of like a series with it, showing my entire process of how I get my inventory, or when inventory gets to my house, how I process it, get it ready for photographing, how I research my items, how I figure out how to list my items, and then how I inventory everything. So stick around for that. That'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if that interests you, stick around for that. Make sure if you enjoy this video while you're watching, hit the thumbs up and then subscribe down below to keep up with all of my content. I usually release about a video a week. Let's dive right in. My very first sale of the year were these Natural Soul by Naturalizer Selly boots. So they were these just like tall black boots. They were faux leather. These sold for $15. These were donated to me and they took 29 days to sell. I only got a 4-star rating on this, I think, so that's unfortunate. I mean, what can you do about ratings? On January 2nd, I had 3 sales. My first sale were these Tahari black pumps. These were square toe black pumps, and these came in a THREDUP mystery box of shoes. Actually, my very first mystery box of shoes. I will link that for you if you're interested. I only have a couple of shoes left from the box that I haven't sold, so that is very exciting. I sold these for $12 and they took 148 days to sell. The next sale was this pair of Express leggings, and these were from my personal closet. I've gotten rid of a lot of my personal items recently. None of my jeans fit anymore and I was over it, so we could get rid of a few things. But I sold these for $20 and they took 29 days to sell. I also have started keeping track of like how I made sales. So if you're curious about like if it was through closet clear out, or if somebody sent me an offer, or if it was a full price sale, or I sent out offers to likers, I can probably put something together for that next month. If you're interested, I have been keeping track though. I thought it might be interesting to sort of see, you know, how many offers come in and maybe the amount of money I make for each type of sale. If you're interested, like, let me know. I think that's cool. I'm also a data geek, so maybe I just think it's interesting. The next sale was this Stella Picciotto necklace, and this was donated to me early 2020. It was just this like rose gold cross necklace, and I sold that for $8. That took 189 days to sell. On January 3rd, I had one sale, and it was this pair of American Eagle bootcut jeans. These were donated to me. I sold them for $6 and they took 236 days to sell. It looked like the person who was wearing them, maybe they were a little too long for them, and so the heels sort of had some wear. So I'm not surprised these sold for so little and took so long to sell. On January 4th, I had 3 sales, and the first one was this Coldwater Creek kind of paisley button front top. This sold for $10 and it took 61 days to sell. This item was donated to me, and my other Coldwater Creek shirt that was very similar, that sold in like a couple days. So I guess Coldwater Creek, if you get the right pieces and list them for cheap enough, they'll sell. But I mean, I sold it for $10, so probably not worth it if you were like thrifting. Next was this Yankees crew neck sweatshirt, and I love this. I got this in a men's mystery box from THREDUP. Again, I will link all my videos that I mentioned down below if you ever want to watch them or haven't seen them. This was excellent. I sold this for $30 in one day. So I probably could have held out for more money, but you just never know if another offer is gonna come in or not. So I took the offer. The next item to sell was this Torrid embellished maxi dress. This came in a THREDUP rescue box as well. Again, I'm not going out thrifting right now, so pretty much all my inventory is either from my personal closet, from THREDUP rescue boxes, or from donations that I have received. So keep that in mind. But this was from a THREDUP mystery box of women's clothing. It sold for $23 with a shipping discount, and it took 4 days to sell. On January 5th, I had 2 sales, and the first was this black long sleeve like workout top, and it's by the brand Head. I couldn't really find comps on this, and I don't know if that brand is good or not. I tried to do research, but I couldn't come up with a whole lot on it. I sold it for $10, and it took 34 days to sell. Next was this White House Black Market white sleeveless lace-up top, and this sold for $10 and took 216 days to sell. I also sold this with a shipping discount. This item was donated to me. It took forever to sell. Or felt like forever. I feel like I've had this piece for a very long time. I'm glad it got its new home. On January 6th, I had one sale, and it was this Topman kind of blue bamboo rolled sleeve t-shirt. I love when notifications came in that my sale got accepted. That means money in the bank. Anywho, it was this Topman bamboo short sleeve tee. I sold this for $11 and it took 2 days to sell. It was a size extra small, so I just took the offer and ran. I wasn't too worried about holding off for a better item. Oh no, I got a 4-star rating. Why? Well, that stinks. I got another 4-star rating. Oh well. I feel bad if somebody wasn't satisfied with what they purchased, but I can't do anything else about it. Okay, what are we talking about? Are we still talking about this Topman top? Topman top. This came in a men's THREDUP rescue box. Yeah, it was an extra small, not, you know, the greatest or most popular size, so I was fine taking a low offer on that. On January 7th, I had one sale, and it was this True Religion leather fedora. This came in that same men's rescue box. My 10-pound box, I have had zero luck with. I've literally sold nothing. And my 25-pound men's box, I'm already profitable, and that's really cool. So, I mean, I don't know if that's common for the 10-pound ones not to be as great as the 25-pound ones, but I've had way better luck with my 25-pound box. So this hat was in that. It had a ton of attention right away. I listed it for $80. I aimed high. There weren't really any comps on it. I got an offer for 30 or something, and I ended up settling on $40 for this. It took 4 days to sell, so I probably could have gotten more. Again, we're seeing a pattern here. I'm much happier getting items out the door than storing them. On the 8th, I had 2 sales. The first was this loft top, and this was from my personal closet, and you can see from the listing photo that I'll pop up the listing photo. This was one of my very first listings on Poshmark. I didn't know how to take photos. I threw it like on the bed or something, and it's like angled, it's like dark, it's not a good photo. And I was about to take new photos of this because it didn't look very good, but it's a nice like sweater. So but it sold for $8. It took 707 days to sell, almost 2 years. Next was this pair of Michael Kors heels. They were leopard print, calf hair. These came in my very first THREDUP. No, it wasn't my first one. One of my THREDUP shoe boxes. I didn't list them for very much, and some of the calf hair was rubbed off, so they were pretty worn. My storage got full, and I talked for a very long time without realizing it. And I said a lot of really exciting stuff that we will never know about. Anyway, the Michael Kors shoes had a lot of wear to them. I was happy to get them out the door. Sold for $6 in 127 days. Next was this Tee by Alexander Wang white open knit hooded sweatshirt, and this was donated to me. It sold for $12 in 199 days. When I got this, it had a lot of stains on it, and I already had this here because I talked about it already, but this is the OxyClean Max Force pre-treater gel stick. I love this stuff. I used this to treat all the stains, and basically you just like squirt some of it out, and then there's these little like nubs on top. You kind of work that into the stains, and if it's something that I just did and the stain was fresh, you know, I'll let it soak for like 2 hours, but if it's something that is thrifted or came in a THREDUP box or something like that, I will let it sit overnight and kind of treat that way, and then just wash it. it. Most of the stains came out, which was excellent, or they were like faded significantly. But what happened was that the sweater got very stiff, and I did a lot of research on that. I tried a bunch of things, but what ended up working for me the best was a lot of times, I guess, like detergent and soap can build up in the clothing fibers from washing an item, and so that can be, you know, that like dried detergent soap residue is what can cause that stiffness in some items. They recommended just rinsing the items out, so I did rinse this quite a few times. After I did a few rinses on that, it did soften up, which was very exciting. It, you know, didn't turn into the softest, coziest thing ever, but it was way better than it was, so that was exciting. I mean, I still only sold it for $12, and it was like a $300 item, but it's out the door. Next were these faux leather leggings. These were from my personal closet, and I sold them for $15, and they took 4 days to sell. I got these leggings from LETOTE, and LETOTE, if you don't know, is like a clothing rental subscription box. It's kind of like Stitch Fix, if you've heard of that, except you can actually wear the items and send them back. So like Stitch Fix, you just get, somebody styles you, you get the box and you try the items on, see if you want to keep them or not. But LETOTE, you can actually, they can style you, or you can actually pick out items that you want them to send you, and you get them, you can wear them for as long as you want and then send them back, or you can keep them for a discounted price. So I loved that. It made me feel like I had like a rotating wardrobe. I didn't shop as much because I felt like I had new items all the time, or just for like a special event. If you are sick of the same, you know, dresses you have in your closet, you can get one to try, or a couple, or whatever. But anyway, I've kept a lot of things over the years from LETOTE. That was awesome. They do still exist. I just don't do it right now because I don't go anywhere. But that's where these leggings came from, and I sold them. On the 14th, I sold 2 items, and the first was this pair of 14th and Union leather heeled boots. These were donated to me, and I sold these for $30. They sold in 42 days. Next were these Fergie leather boots. These came from a THREDUP rescue box. They were kind of like a slouchy, tall boot, and I sold these for $43, and those took 34 days to sell. On the 15th, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, wait. 1, 2, 3. I had 4 sales. The first was this Champion kind of like half puffer jacket. It was actually C9 Champion, which is like the Champion that sold at Target, so it's really not that high value or anything. This came in a men's THREDUP rescue box, and I sold that for $19, and it took 11 days to sell. Next was this Express Portofino top, and Express has these Portofino shirts, and they're just like their classic career wear button front top. This was from my personal closet. It kind of had little like anchors on it. I haven't worn it in forever, so I decided to sell it. It sold for $10 and took 44 days to sell. Next was this Vans black tee with kind of like this galaxy print pocket on it. This came from a men's THREDUP rescue box. I sold this for $13, and it took 10 days to sell. The last thing to sell on the 15th was this pair of Spanx jeggings. They're like the jean-ish leggings, I think is what Spanx calls them, but these were from my personal closet. They don't fit me anymore, and I sold those for $52, and those took 7 days to sell. On the 16th, I had 1 sale, and it was this Michael Kors like olive green strappy one-piece bathing suit. This was donated to me. It took me a while to list. I don't really remember why, but it did. And either way, it sold for $19 and took 6 days to sell. So I sold a bathing suit in January, and stick around for like 2 seconds because I sold another one. On the 19th, I sold 3 items. One was a bundle of 2 items, and then just another item sold separately. I sold this bundle of 2 items, and the first was this Madewell like spaghetti strap silk tank top, and this came from a mystery box I got from, I bought it off of Instagram, and that was actually like my very first YouTube video. So if you're curious about that and want to see how bad I used to be, actually I guess it wasn't that bad. If you want to see my very first YouTube video, it was in there. I sold that for $30, and that took 204 days to sell. The other item in this bundle was another Michael Kors one-piece bathing suit. This one was black and strappy. I sold that for $15 and that took 47 days to sell. I sold this bundle for $45, so I kind of just break it down into the percentages of what I had the items listed for to get my sales price. The other item that sold was this J. Crew Point Sur mustardy yellow blouse. This sold for $24 in 204 days. This was new with tags. It also came in that same Instagram mystery box that I got. Yeah, I don't know. It took forever to sell, so I don't know. On the 20th, I sold 2 items. First was this St. John's Bay Classic Fit black flannel top. This was a men's shirt and it came in a men's THREDUP rescue box. This sold for $10 with a shipping discount and sold in 6 days. The other item was this Roxy kind of Aztec print duster sweater, open front long line cardigan, whatever you want to call it. This was my personal item and I got this forever ago. I wore that. If whoever purchased that is watching, I just want you to know that I wore that sweater to a Maroon 5 concert in 2013 and Kelly Clarkson opened for them. So there's a fun fact for you about the sweater. I sold that for $10 and it took 48 days to sell. I don't think whoever purchased this from Wisconsin cares about the Maroon 5 concert I went to, but thought I'd mention it. On the 21st, I had 4 sales. The first was this Burton tee and it was just kind of this like striped or color blocked shirt with a pocket. This had a stain on it. I used my trusty Oxy stuff on it because it was on like the white part on the front. Got it out, but I sold it for $9 in 16 days. Next was this express ribbed cutout sweater, and this was from my personal closet. I'm gonna say this as I'm wearing this color, but it was like this cream color and it typically washes me out, so I probably look very washed out in this. But this came in this mystery box and I really wanted to wear it because it's super soft and it has like this waffle knit on it, and I wanted to give it a test run to see if I might keep it myself, so I'll let you know. But anyway, this sweater, I sold it for $13 with a shipping discount and it took 86 days to sell. Next was this Artisan New York mixed media button front tunic, and this was like a linen shirt. This was donated to me. It sold for $22 in 11 days. And that went to Hawaii. I always think that's really cool, so shout out to Hawaii. Then we had this Made in Italy top. If you saw that video, I unboxed it in a THREDUP rescue box. And it was just kind of this like flowy, kind of like paint splatter watercolor top. I sold it for $15 and it took 22 days to sell. Oh boy, on the 22nd, I sold 7 items, but it was all part of the same bundle. So I had a 7-piece bundle sell, and I believe the total price of that bundle was $52. So obviously like the sale price per item is not great, but it was a lot of items that were from my personal closet and I just wanted to get out the door, so that was fine. So the first 2 items were these AXS pieces. One was this like quarter zip workout top. It had like mesh insets, and then the matching leggings also sold. These were from my personal closet. They sold for about $8 each. I don't know why I listed the top and the bottoms on 2 different days, but the top took 274 days to sell and the bottoms took 321 days to sell. Next we have this noir top. This came in a LETOTE that I got, so I wore this. This was mine. And so the AXS pieces also came from LETOTE originally, but then from my personal closet. For this noir top, it was like this burgundy blouse that sold for $8 and took 51 days to sell. Next was this Forever 21 dress. It was like this faux wrap floral like long sleeve dress that was just from my personal closet. That sold for $6 and took 314 days to sell. Next we have this Sienna Sky kind of floral top, and this came in a THREDUP rescue box. I sold that for $9 and that took 74 days to sell. Next we have these sleep stylers. If you don't know what sleep stylers are, I think they were on Shark Tank. They're just like these foam hair curlers, so you're supposed to like sleep in them and then when you wake up your hair is curly. My hair just doesn't hold a curl very well, and I had to dry my hair most of the way before using them, and so I don't know, I never use them, especially now I don't go anywhere, so I sold those. They sold for $8 and took 16 days to sell. The last thing in that bundle were these white hangers. I've kind of switched over to all of like the same hangers I have here. I have those linked in my Amazon store too. I just like the size of them. Like the width is not as wide. Let me grab one. The width is not as wide as a lot of hangers. So on a lot of women's clothing, I would have the issue where like the shoulder seam would be up here or like up here. And then this would like poke into like the arm and then cause a dent. So like all your items have this little like pokey thing sticking out, which is so annoying. But these I find are an excellent size. I also don't like the hangers that have like the indent up top here, because a lot of like the necklines will get stuck on that and then put a pokey thing up top. So I have issues with like pokey things clearly. But these are nice and flush here, and this is like rubber, so things don't like slip off. I don't get pokey things on the side or on the top, which I like. And it also has these for tank tops and things like that. You can also put pants here, which I do, and the rubber's here so it doesn't, you know, slip and slide all over the place. And these like swivel, which is nice. So you can like hang multiple, stack them if you need to. But anyway, these are like my favorite hangers, and I'm getting rid of my old ones. Figured I would list them on Poshmark. I have like 12 packs of my old ones listed, and a pack of my white ones sold for $5, and those took 70 days to sell. On the 23rd, I had one sale, and it was this Anthropologie Bordeaux Willamette ribbed tunic top, and it was just like this blush pink color. This was donated to me. I sold it for $9 with a shipping discount, and it took 234 days to sell. I think it was just older anthro, and it was very plain. So if I was thrifting, I would not pick that up. On the 26th, I sold 5 items, and I did have a 3-piece bundle. So the first item that sold was this Massimo black V-neck sweater. Massimo is a Target brand. This was from my personal closet. Don't wear it anymore. That sold for $6 and took 91 days to sell. Next was this pair of Sam Edelman kitten mid-rise skinny ankle jeans. The style is called the kitten. These were from my personal closet. I think I got them at Nordstrom Rack like forever ago. And if we're seeing a pattern here, I'm getting rid of a lot of my personal pants because they don't fit me anymore. So these were another pair that bit the dust. I sold these for $35 with a shipping discount, and they took 19 days to sell. Here we have the 3-piece bundle. The 3 items were this Gap black ribbed basic top, and that was donated to me. And this bundle sold for $15, so $5 a piece, and that was listed for 167 days. Next was this Planet Gold kind of like brushed ruffle sleeve top. That was donated to me, and that took 52 days to sell. That was a really, really cute top. If that was my size, I would have kept it because it was cute. The last thing, and so she had asked to swap out this item for the Gap thing, and I was like, you can just have it. So this was a Lexi York kind of like metallic gold knit sweater vest type thing, and it was like an open waterfall front. This came in a THREDUP rescue box. So essentially it sold for $5, and that was listed for 154 days. So all these items, like, I wasn't gonna get that much for them anyway, and I'd rather have them out the door and have somebody be happy. She gave me 5 stars and was really excited about all of her items. So that is what matters. And sometimes it's nice to just get stale stuff out the door. On the 28th, I had 2 sales. The first was this Free People Twyla sheer top in navy. I sold this exact same top in like a blush pink color, like in November, I think. Maybe. Anyway, I had 2 of the same top. They were donated to me, which was awesome. I sold this one for $28 with a shipping discount, and this took 64 days to sell. The second item was this H&M basic top, and it was kind of like a brownish olive greenish color depending what light you were looking at it in. And I sold that for $8, and that took 53 days to sell, and that was donated to me. On the 29th, I had 2 sales. The first was this pair of Fly London boots, and I got these in a THREDUP mystery box. These sold for $32 and took 73 days to sell. That was the rating that I just got in. That was 4 stars. I hope there wasn't anything I did to make her experience less than 5 stars. It just happens sometimes. Anyway, the next item that sold was this Alfred Dunner kind of like white button front, and it was like embroidered and had flowers on it. This was donated to me. People seek out Alfred Dunner, I think. I think it's like a vintage brand, and a lot of like that grandma core. Like cottage core was like over the summer and fall, and like now we're going into like grandma core, and people are loving like the old like grandma sweaters and grandma shirts. So if you have any grandma core or grandpa core items, maybe list them. Again, not for much. This sold for $6 and took 195 days to sell, but I know grandma core is a thing. Maybe Alfred Dunner is not like the poster child for that, but grandma core is a thing right now. And to wrap it all up, well, not to wrap the video up, to wrap up my items that sold, on the 30th, I had one sale, and it was this pair of Express stretch mid-rise jean leggings, jeggings. These were from my personal closet. I sold them for $18, and they took 57 days to sell. And now that we've gone through all the items, let's move into fast, slow, high, low. Let's start with my fastest items, and I usually like to do my top 3, but my number 3 is actually 3 items, so it's 5. I had 3 things that sold in 4 days. First were these, is it Lyce? Anyway, these faux leatherette leggings. Next was the True Religion hat, so that also took 4 days to sell. Probably could have gotten more out of it, but oh well. And then the other thing that took 4 days to sell was this Torrid dress. And I honestly just like found the stock photo and posted that with a picture of like the material tag and the size / like brand tag. And that's how I listed this item, just because I wanted to like get it up on the internet. Yeah, that sold in 4 days, so I didn't actually like have to photograph a black maxi dress. The next item took 2 days to sell, and it was the Top Man bamboo t-shirt that came in that men's mystery box. I had one item take 1 day to sell, and if you were paying attention, it was the Yankees crew neck sweatshirt. This was a fantastic thing to get in my box. People are loving oversized like vintage crew necks right now. My 3 slowest sales, so number 3 was this floral faux Forever 21 faux floral wrap dress that took 314 days to sell. The AXS Glacier leggings took 321 days to sell. And the number 1 item, my slowest sale, was the Loft striped top. Again, this took 707 days to sell, and I was about ready to rephotograph that item because my pictures were no bueno. Let's move into my 3 highest sales, and number 3 were the Sam Edelman jeans that came from my own closet. Those sold for $35. Next was the True Religion hat that sold for $40, and that's pretty darn good for a hat that I got in a mystery box. If you ever find a True Religion hat, even their baseball caps, when I was looking up comps for this, True Religion baseball caps, like, pick that up. Like, I know people like the jeans and stuff, but if you find a True Religion baseball hat, and like the more blinged out and bedazzled, the better. My highest sale of the month were the Spanx jean-ish leggings that were from my personal closet, and I sold those for $52. And then to my 3 worst sales, except it's like my 4 worst sales because they all sold for $5. No surprise here, we already kind of talked about it. The 3-piece bundle that I just threw in the extra item, those all sold for $5. So the Gap ribbed tee, the Planet Gold ruffle sleeve sweater, and the Lexi York like sweater vest gold metallic thing, those all sold for $5. And then the other item that sold for $5 was the 12-pack of hangers. So now I just want to share with you a few other fun things that I keep track of in my business. And this here kind of shows like the number of likes I had every day on Poshmark, the number of items I listed every day, and the number of items I sold every day. And you can see the entire second half of the month, I literally didn't list anything. I don't know, I just didn't. I was really excited to list an item, at least one item every day for the whole month. That worked for about half the month, and then I just stopped. I have no explanation for why I didn't do anything, but I didn't. And you can see the number of likes I received. Like, it was actually pretty high and really spiked in the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month it held pretty steady lower than that. So I would say that listing definitely has an effect on how many likes you get on your items. I don't know that that necessarily directly relates to sales, but the more people you have liking your items, you know, you have a better chance of making a sale. So I think that's important to note. My best-selling category for the month was tops, and I sold a lot of tops this month. Yeah, a lot of tops. And that was my number 2 and 3 categories were shoes and sweaters. They were tied for second place. If you look at my items listed and sold, I listed 44 items and I sold 50. So I'm selling more than I'm listing right now, which I'm happy with. I'm hoping, you know, with 44 items listed, that averages out to more than 1 listed per day. So I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself on days where I have a lot of items photographed and I just list them all because I'm too excited. I think it's better for the algorithm on Poshmark if you kind of spread those out and be more consistent with your listing versus like listing 20 items the first 2 days of the month and then don't list anything the entire rest of the month. So I'm trying to spread out my listing a little bit more evenly and more consistently. So hopefully that should help a little bit too. So let's finish up with our map of the month. This just kind of shows how many items went to each state in the month of January. And as you can see here, Iowa is the big winner for the month with a total of 8 sales. And that is largely in part to the 7-piece bundle that went to Iowa, and 1 other item got shipped there. So that's actually pretty surprising. Usually like California wins out. I think California was number 2, but yeah, that's go Iowa for January. So for the big finale, my total sales for the month were $779. And then once you take out my cost of goods and any fees and shipping discounts, I profited $501.55. So that's what's going in the bank, and I'm very happy with that. That wraps it up for our January What Sold video. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe down below. Turn on that little bell if you want to make sure you don't miss any future uploads from me. I've got a lot of mystery box content and kind of like more process content coming up, like how my whole process works. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I just filmed that whole intro and I wasn't recording. Let's do it again. No, but like for real, look at this waffle knit. It's so cute. I think it's also like a cropped sweater, and I don't own any of those, and it's, I don't know, ribbed is like cool, right? This is cool. Somebody tell me this is cool. I think I'm keeping it. It passed. And boots were going out the door, and it sold for 22 days. It sold for 22 days. Hangers take up a lot of room. Wait. Oh my gosh, I am no expert on the algorithm, so don't come for me. My husband is watching the Villanova game and I can hear him on the phone. I don't think he knows how loud he is when he's on the phone. Like, you know how you put your phone voice on? When you're on the phone, it's like so perfect. I mean, he's just on the phone with his dad, but like, I think everybody has a phone voice. You just like speak loud. You just speak louder. I don't know why we do. Why do we do that? Do you guys have a phone voice? I definitely do. Okay, I think he's done. Carrying on.